Hey everybody, welcome back to Z Frequency. I'm Andy Z. I don't have a ton of stuff today, but I had stuff I feel like it's important to get out today because it will kind of explain what's going on the internet. So, okay, first things first. This is a guy named Trevor Grossi, and he is what I would consider to be a super enthusiast of Egyptian, all stuff Egyptian, the pyramids, the Sphinx, all of that stuff. So, and he goes to Egypt a lot and works with a lot of these big names that are bringing forth some information. So, I want to read this and show you pictures because there's, and this isn't the full post, it's just the first part and the last part because that's really, I'm going to pull out the important parts. But we've got this whole Bledsoe thing going on, and a big part of his prophecy is the Sphinx. So they're trying to say that they found another Sphinx. So let me read. I'll put this up and I'll read from my phone so you don't have to deal with this. So Trevor said, evidence is evidence, and I always follow the evidence wherever it leads. In 1929, a book entitled Giza One by Junker Herman and Pelazius, you got me, Wilhelm, a photograph of the plateau can be seen, and the mound of compacted sand that is suspected to contain the new second Sphinx is not there at all. Instead, we see flat ground. The truth is, this mound of comprised materials excavated out of the Western Cemetery, a spoil heap it's called, and if we were to excavate it to the ground today, this is all we would find, the ground. However, let's keep in mind a few important points. Basically, what he's saying is there could be something important there, because usually they will put the remains, or they'll make it more difficult by covering up important things and placing it there. But what he's basically saying is, oh, hold on a sec. What he's basically saying there is, and there's pictures, there was not that heap there before. So it wasn't there in 1929. They're probably putting something there to cover up something important, but that's not going to be a second Sphinx. So let's keep that in mind, because they are really trying to steer this narrative with Bledsoe that the Sphinx and the Easter and blah, blah, blah. So there is no second Sphinx. There's no new knowledge with that. There's probably stuff underneath there. That whole, from what I understand from both kind of, well, let's say meditations and blah blah blah, there is a whole city underneath there, an underground city, a whole city. So yeah, that's there's a lot more there. There's a lot more there, but they're trying to orchestrate all of this to support Bledsoe. Why? Anyway, next thing. I've talked about Cab before, and I'm going to talk about him again. So this is Cab, and this was a video of Trump. It was a 6-second video, and he literally transcribed it right there. We have weapons that nobody ever seen before. We have weapons that nobody even knows about except for a few of us. And Cab follows up with white hats are in control. Okay. Let's talk about white hats. Andrea makes a great point. I don't know any white hats. Do you know any white hats? Also, how is a group, we know how expensive wars are. They have one all the time so that we have to pay for it. So how would these white hats be getting funded? I don't understand that. All of our government money is going to the cabal. And do you think the cabal is going to be paying for another faction to fight against them? They're not. The way that they work, there is like a white side, a light side, a dark side, and a gray side, where it's kind of both. They're going to be really delicate in their balance in order to not take on karma, basically. But they're not going to be working against themselves. Their end goal is end times. So I don't understand the white hat thing. I really wanted to believe that there were people fighting for us. And again, I think there are groups that are supporting us, but there is not a full military faction that is fighting for us. How would they get funding? And how would they continue? I mean, my silly little channel here is shadow banned, for God's sake. I'm inconvenient, and I have, less than 100 followers by far. So they're not going to be funding multiple billions of dollars to fight against themselves. It just isn't going to happen. So we are the white hats. And I don't feel like I'm in control of what's going on. I just don't. I don't think you guys do either. All we can control is our own reality. So, and I do that every day by being thankful that we have won. And these are the things that you have to do, and you're creating it, you're crystallizing it and putting it into existence. So, we have to stop the whole trust the white hats are in control, trust the plan. That's a stand down message. That is telling you don't have to do anything, and you do. It's so important right now for us to be proactive and working on what we want to see. Not what we don't want to see, what we want to see. So, don't listen to any of their stand down messages. It's not the time. It's not the correct time for that. So, God, I'm sorry, my nose is itching like crazy. Okay, so now here's the next thing that I wanted to point out, and it's going viral like crazy. So there's this comedian Druski that dressed up as Erica Kirk. I mean, there are some funny moments in it, just because it's a caricature of her. It's parody. So what I didn't understand about this whole thing, because Erica Kirk has really lashed out about this. What I didn't understand about this is how is Candace Owens basically calling her a murderer? And how and he talks about it in this video too. She came out, I mean, it may have been the very next day or the day of her husband's shooting, saying, I forgive him. She's so pious, or he's not dead, or she doesn't care about him, or a million different things. But I didn't understand why this was so greatly affecting her. Like, what is this? Why is this the straw? This guy, he's a comedian, for God's sake. Nobody's supposed to take that stuff seriously. He's not doing it to be mean. And really, he said a lot of there's a lot meaner stuff out there that she's not suing over, until I watched this video, and then I was like, oh, now I get it. So let's play it and see if you can pick out where this is going.
Suing me over a video I posted, me in all white, walking in with fireworks, hitting a double take, that half cry, half smile, talking like those political wife speeches, and now it's too far. Now, let's keep it real. You forgave the man who killed your husband, but you need a court. Say it again. You forgave a killer, but you're suing a comedian for a video. That's crazy. And don't lie on me. I ain't joke about no tragedy. I didn't touch that. I joked about what everybody sees, the outfit, the voice, the way y'all get on stage and talk. That's public. That's what y'all put out. I just copied it. Now it's a problem. So what comedy got to be safe now? Comedy got to ask permission or just not be accurate. Because last time I checked, impressions, parody, all that's free speech. That's the whole point. But now it's crossing the line because it hit too close. So be real. You mad I made a joke or mad it looked exactly like you? You protect all men in America, especially all white men.
Okay, did you hear what I heard? It all made sense when he said free speech. I was like, there it is. That's why this is such a hot button right now and why she's upset. She's going to start trying. This will be step one in trying to remove our free speech. It all makes sense. So, and you know how our courts work here in America. It's once, there'll be a groundbreaking grand jury, blah, blah, where she's suing him, he's fighting it. And then if she were to win, that sets a precedent. So that's what other court cases refer to from then on. Then free speech becomes in danger. So yeah, don't fall into the the outside, all of the rest of it. This is a free speech attack is basically what this is. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But at the same time, we are in charge of our own reality. So you're a sovereign being. Don't consent to any of this bullshit. Just stay where you are, and you know where you are. And so keep building what you want and forget about the rest. Keep everything else out of your awareness. If you can't let it just roll off of you and move on and think, then don't look, because you're just feeding the matrix. So yeah, that's all I got on a Sunday. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay sovereign out there. Don't consent to the bullshit. And I appreciate all of you. I'm sure I'll see you soon.